You can't let someone else do all of the work. Have people that come in at random times and don't say anything. Like, that's just rude. You have to communicate. That's the most essential part. Hi everyone, it's Amanda and welcome back to A Ram's Life, or welcome if you're new. I'm so glad that you guys are here today, and I hope that you guys have all had a beautiful summer. It is back to school season, and as you guys can see by the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about honest roommate advice. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you guys can see what's coming next. There's so many exciting things coming your way, and I hope you guys stick around. Okay, so last year, if you've been following me for a little bit, you know that I did live in the suite style dorm. I shared a room with someone, and then we both shared a dorm room with two other people on the other side of our bathroom, and they were our suite mates. I'm gonna go ahead and rip off the band-aid. I don't wanna sit here and lie to you guys and say that my roommate experience was good, because it wasn't. It was just a really rough time. Something that I've realized is that everyone's roommate and dorm and college experience is going to be different no matter who you are. It's based on the individuals, the atmosphere, the environment, the area. All those factors factor in. My roommate that I had last year and I really did not talk at all. Let me just say this. I chose my roommate by myself. When you first get admitted to Colorado State, they do have a portal and a community online where you can get to know other people that's in your class. Some people also go on there to hopefully find a roommate, and that's what I did. We did talk a lot prior, but it was mainly on text messages. Once we met in person, it was okay. I want to say like the first 2 weeks, because you're getting to know someone new for the first time. You don't really know who they are and they don't know you, so you're just trying to get to know each other in a very uncomfortable, fast, and overwhelming situation and time. As the year went on, things just became more worse, but there were some like highs and lows. There'd be times where we talked for some time and then we just stopped talking. Now, I'm not trying to be negative, and I don't want to scare you guys that are going into your first year of college and you're living in the dorms. I know whenever I was looking at this stuff, whenever I was first going to a university, I didn't really see any of this, and there probably are videos out there I just haven't came across, but I know that I've heard the horror stories, but I haven't really heard about two roommates not really talking. I really want to speak about this because it's actually real, and as the year went along, I learned that I wasn't the only person that was going through that. There's a lot of other people that I know that have had the same situation where they don't really talk to their roommates, and so if I can help you guys that are in the situation right now that may encounter this, or just to prevent it, then I really want to help, because your well-being is so important. And I'm telling you, living in a small space with people that you've never lived with before can be really rough, and there's a lot of different changes going all at once. No matter where you're coming from when you're going to your university, that's going to be your second home, or that can be your home. You don't want what's happening inside, if it's negative, to impact you on the outside. You are there to get an education and trying to learn about yourself. Like they say, these are one of the best couple of years of your life, and you shouldn't have to live it miserably. I've learned so much over the past few months, and if any of this can be helpful, I hope that it can. The first piece of advice that I want to give you guys about living with a roommate is that you have to communicate. You cannot go into any situation when you're living with a person and not communicate. It does not work whatsoever. You guys don't necessarily live the same way. There are always going to be things that you have to talk about, like if it's like a hall meeting and they're talking about like for Christmas when you have to turn this off, turn that off, make sure you unplug this, make sure your trash is out. Like, all of that has to be communicated, because guess what? If that room has something that is not right and that's your room, it's going to impact you and them, and you're gonna have to pay for it, and I'm sure that you guys don't want to have to pay extra money if it doesn't have to be spent. Don't just talk about the easy stuff. You have to talk about the hard things too. If you don't want to talk about personal things, that's fine, but you have to talk about things. Just ask one another, how are you doing? How are classes going? Just ask, so there can be some type of relationship that does come along. You guys are literally like a little family in that room. That is your room. That small of a space, there should be no way that you guys don't talk to one another. It's very uncomfortable and it's very lonely, to be honest. If you are in the process of finding a roommate, or you're about to have a roommate, roommate, I strongly recommend that you don't just text them. I know that a lot of times in this day of age that a lot of people want to text one another because it's just quick and it's easy, but nothing is more personal and nothing is more connecting when you actually see their face. So if you can do a FaceTime, or if you guys can possibly meet up before and like grab some coffee or go shopping together for your room, that would be amazing. You're gradually getting into it and not just diving deep in. The next thing that I want to say is you have to try and put in the effort. And this goes alongside with communication. If you guys don't both put in the effort, it's still not going to work. I know that people like to stay to themselves more. Some people may like to talk more, but you have to try. You can't let someone else do all of the work. If you don't talk about things, nobody's going to know how the other person feels, and you're just going based off of what you know, and what you know could be wrong or what they know could be wrong. So just talk about it. Don't be afraid. Also, you have to be respectful and courteous towards one another. You have to be respectful towards their things, their space, their time, and especially them as a human being. You can't use their things without asking them. You can't use their things and mess it up and not clean up after. You can't have people that come in at random times and don't say anything. Like, that's just rude. You have to communicate. Communication is key. If you want to have a good college dorm experience, you have to communicate, even if you're not in the dorm. But like literally in any roommate situation that you may be in, you have to communicate. That's the most essential part. At the beginning of the year, you guys should take it seriously and set up rules and standards of how you guys want to live together. Like, when do you guys get up? When do you want to open the windows? When do you want lights out? When do you guys want to have friends over? And stuff like that. Because way down later in the year, when something doesn't come up to be right, or there's a disagreement in something, then you guys need to go back to what you guys were discussing before about how you would handle that kind of situation. Don't force a situation, and that should really speak all for itself, especially being friends. Like I heard someone else say, being friends is a bonus. You guys don't have to be friends, but you have to learn how to live together and get along, because that's going to be the next, 8 months? 9 months. Just because something might not be working in your room doesn't mean things can't work outside your room. Don't try to get to know just that person in your room. Try to get to know other people outside that room. This is the big part of what I learned and I didn't do, but I wish I had. You shouldn't let your well-being go down the drain because you're trying to live in a space where it's just really crushing you. This is what I'm gonna say. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on them. Third time, get out. If something is not working in your room, I cannot stress this enough, get out now. I stayed in my room for the whole entire year. The reason why I didn't get out is because I thought that things were gonna get better. And I feel like if something is very repetitive and it's happened more than 3 times, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to change. So the best thing for you to do is get out of there and be at peace. Don't worry about what if, because what if you continue to stay in there? It might not lead to any good. That is everything that I have to say and have to give you guys about roommate advice. That's brutally honest. I really and truly hope that this video can help you guys in any capacity. I'm telling you, if you've never lived with a roommate before, or you've never lived in a dorm before, it is not easy, but you can get through it in the right circumstances and the right responses and the right action. If you guys have advice yourself, please let us know in the comment sections below, because you can really make an impact as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video so much. If you did, make sure to give this video a like. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We would love for you to stick around, and make sure to check out the other student vloggers to see what they're up to. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful beginning to your new year in school. I'm wishing you guys all the best, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. See ya!